Hello, Sophie. Uh, I said I'd do it, and here it is. Little Cogmind recording to fall asleep to. So we're gonna start with a new game. And so, like with every new game of Cogmind, we start as this little blue guy, Cogmind. We're a sentient robot. Um, and we are at the bottom of a huge cavern, uh, base complex that is run by this evil AI. Um, here's one of the worker AI bots. We can click on him here and get a little bit of detail about him. See how fast he moves, his name, his basic health. We can also see the parts on him. So every robot that's not us has basically a predetermined list of parts, and they don't change. Um, so a scavenger, like a basic scavenger in the early levels, always has a light ion engine, a compact wheel, a small storage unit, and a tractor beam. Um, what makes Cogmind special is all of our parts can be replaced, changed, destroyed, basically at will. Um, so right now we are basically bare. We just have our core, which is like our main health. If this goes to 0, we die. We have our energy, which is used whenever we do things like if we move. If we had propulsion on and we moved, we would use some energy. Matter is used to shoot certain guns, to put on different parts. System corruption is bad and can happen to us through various number of ways. We have our temperature. This is very important. Uh, Getting hit by hot things and also firing hot things will make us hotter. Shocking. Very important. We have how fast we move. So we're moving at 50. If we look at this scavenger, he's moving at 100. So we get to move twice for every one time he moves. Um, yeah, and those are the most important bits of information. We also have our avoidance rate, which is if something is shooting at us, generally it's going to have about a 50% chance to hit, 50% chance to miss. And that's just based on us not having any parts on us and moving really fast. Um, so we have nothing, but luckily there's lots of spare parts for us to pick up and use on the ground. So we're going to do that real fast. Pick up some matter. Um, so in the bottom we have our inventory, and right now we can only hold 5 things. So to make more space, we could put these parts on, which we're going to do with this comm wheel. So we'll see that we move much slower, but that's okay, because we can also equip this small storage unit, and now we can hold 8 things. Very useful. Go ahead, pick everything else up. Need to put more parts on. So we have 3 medium lasers to start with, which is pretty powerful, but it's going to produce a lot of heat that we don't really have a way to deal with right now. So we don't really have a choice but to use 2 at once. What we can do is we can turn one off. So that way we're much less likely to overheat. And then if we need to, we could turn it back on. So we've basically picked up everything. We see down here some little excavators have come down to the level we're at. And I can see here that they have an improved terrain scanner, which I actually want. So we're going to kill a couple of these. and hope we can get it. There it is. Very lucky. And this will passively give us some knowledge about the surrounding area. So now we're just a little bit less blind. Okay, so we are officially in the compound. OB10 is its name. Let's see if I can remember how to pull up the map. World map overlays M. That's not it. Show world map backspace. Okay, so we see that we are at -10. We want it, our goal is to get out to -1 and escape to the surface. So these first couple of floors, excuse me, we don't know this yet, but I believe these are called materials or storage. I forget which one. Okay. So we've entered this door here, and we see a technician. So these guys are yellow, meaning they're hostile. They're not like the other OB10 bots that we saw. Who were green, who were like, you know, non-hostile service bots. This guy he actively sees us as a threat. But he actually doesn't directly fight. Instead, he is going to run to his terminal, which is almost certainly this terminal right here, and he's going to try to call an alarm. So we're going to have to do a little math to see if we can get to the terminal before him, or if we need to try to kill him really quickly. So we move at 100. He moves at 56. So it would take me 1, 2, 3, 4. Take him 1, 2, 3. So I think it's about a 50-50 on whether or not he makes it. I'm going to race him for it. We see a grenade launcher that's very useful. 3. Oh, that's not his terminal. Interesting. So, instead, we're going to wait for him to call for backup. His terminal's very far away. Okay. So I don't know where he's going, but I'm really not too worried about it at this point. So instead we're going to go onto this terminal, and it shows us a list of random options. There's many things a terminal can do, but you only get a random selection each time you open it. However, you can put in manual commands. Which would be like, let's try to remember one. We'll go throw a botnet onto it. So if we can successfully get this botnet, every computer on this level will be a little bit easier to hack. And you can throw like 2 or 3 botnets on there to just give yourself better chances. But that resets every level. Always good to start out with, though. So we see we failed. We had a 50% chance of succeeding. And we have a 32% chance of detection. And we were detected for that attempt. So a trace has been started. It's at 14% right now, and if it were to fill up to 100, it would set off an alarm. we can pretty safely do another attempt for another 50-50. And we failed again. And, whoops. We're gonna just abort that attempt. Nothing to do about it. See a tractor beam. Okay, so they finally got to the terminal and called for reinforcements. So the reinforcements will arrive from a level exit and go to that terminal. But given that it took him fucking forever to get there, who knows where they could be headed. We see a scout here. He also doesn't directly attack us, but he will snitch on us to any of his homies that are nearby. So we're going to try to get out of his sight. Ooh. Okay, so the fact that he hasn't snitched on us tells us that he actually doesn't have a friend nearby, because we would have seen the alarm he sent out. So we're actually going to try to take a little pot shot at him. So if we were to hit him now, he's so small and fast, each of our guns would have about a 27% chance to hit. Now if we wait a turn, ooh, we see that he actually does send out a distress signal. So there is someone coming to check that out. But also the fact that we have stood still for a turn means that we now have a 44% chance to hit with both of our guns. So let's see. We missed. Try again, 56. So we see here that it also produced 39 heat, which is not ideal. That'll quickly add up. Here are those guys coming to check us out. We're in a pretty bad position, but we're going to fight it out. So we already have fairly high heat. You start to have problems around 200. You start to have serious problems around 300. So we're gonna take a step forward. So hopefully they can't hit us through this wall. We'll dissipate some heat. Another guy shows up, which is really not good. Okay, and now we will change out some of our equipment so that we have more protection. So if we see here, our core is 21% exposed, meaning that all these other parts, 79% of the time, one of these is going to get hit and take damage instead of our core. And it's different depending on how large the part is. So you can see that here at coverage. So these treads, every time I get hit, there's a 1 in 4 chance it's the treads. But my little comm wheel, it's only 6% coverage. So since I want a little bit more armor, I'm going to throw on this other pair of treads. So I'm going to be much slower, but I am taking less damage on the things that I don't want to get hit. Okay, now it's time to fucking shoot these guys and hopefully take them out quickly, because I'm in a really bad position. We're building up heat really quickly getting hit like this. I think we're gonna switch out for a grenade launcher and try to hit these guys in the south. Alright, we were able to lose a little bit of heat like that. We'll take the grenade launcher off because we don't want it to get hurt. And we'll only shoot one laser because we're still dealing with heat problems. Hit that guy. Oh, so this guy, he's been shooting me so much that he's overheating. So this is a good example of how, like, you and the different enemies in Cogmind play by the same rules. The parts do the same things for you. You overheat, they overheat. And this guy has shot me so much that we can see that he is starting to take damage. So we're going to keep hitting him. Give him a taste of his own medicine. He's done. So I have pretty bad heat, though. Tractor beam, tractor beam. So I want that particle gun. I'm going to run to it. Pick it up. Oh. Throw it on. Okay. So these little guys we saw in the beginning, these scavengers, this is a great example of why they're actually really fucking annoying. Because they come around, and all these parts that are left on the ground that I could use, their only job in life is to pick them up and take them to recycling machines throughout the level. So you can shoot at them to scare them off, but anything they pick up, they're going to run away with. So you have to try to either kill them or shoot them before they get to the stuff that you want to pick up. I'm going to try that right now. You can see he blew up with a bunch of goodies. We'll shoot this guy. Our heat's looking really bad. Take a turn off. So we took a fair bit of damage in that fight early on, which is not ideal. But these things happen. We're going to continue through the level. We see another trooper. Don't love that. So he's probably not alone, but we are luckily in a much better position here. Doorways are excellent for fighting most enemies because we can funnel them in one at a time instead of getting like dog piled on like we did in the last fight. Okay. So I don't even believe he has seen us yet. We'll give him a second. So he's walked into our line of fire. We're going to open up with a volley. He does have friends. We were hit. We'll do the same little armor switcheroo that we did last time. And we'll let them come to us. Okay, here they are. We'll open up. We have pretty good odds of hitting this guy. Suffers a critical hit of burn. He's probably getting pretty hot. Our heat's not too bad. So his friends, instead of lining up behind him, are running off, which tells me there's a hidden door somewhere that they're running to. The OB-10 robots will always know about all the hidden doors. That's something that, like, my improved terrain scanner could possibly tell me, but I have not seen one yet. We'll keep firing at this guy. Our heat is starting to build up, though. We don't love that. So we're both overheating, although he is worse than me. He's continuing to fire even though he's overheating. And we got him. Fuck, another one. So we're gonna back up. We need to cool down. We'll back up again. Okay. Got a very good volley on him. And we found a heat sink, which will allow us to dissipate heat much quicker. That's huge. We'll let the scavengers take those parts. We don't need them. Hopefully we can take this scout out. Another scout. Got that one too. Okay, we have a terminal. So the reason why you would want to do one of these pre-selected options from the terminal as opposed to just a manual command is because they have a higher base chance of success. So locate traps is really good. It'll tell us about any traps in the area, and we have pretty good odds of getting a success. We did not the first time, and we got detected. Alright, pretty unlucky. That's okay. Another scout. And we have walked into an EMP trap. So that has damaged our parts, which is not ideal. We're going to throw on a wheel. And we're not going to go that way because there's likely more traps. We've run into another mercenary. Don't love that. Hopefully he doesn't have any friends. He does. Okay. So we're going to fire. Took him out first try. We just lost our ion engine. That's okay though. I think we have enough. We generate enough power on our own that I think we can win this. Okay, we're getting too hot. We're going to throw the heat sink on. And we got him. So after most fights, you're going to want to replace the parts that have been damaged or lost. So we're doing that now. And we have found a cache of good items for us. There's some armor plating that we really like. And there's a laser shotgun, which is not bad. So these items have tiers. So since the medium laser and the laser shotgun are similar items, but the the shotgun is a higher tier, yeah, I can automatically pick that up, which is super convenient. Okay, and I'm feeling alright about our position. We've taken a lot of damage, which is bad. Ooh, and we just walked into a blade trap. So it has damaged and cut off several parts, although we can just pick them back up. It's not the end of the world, just inconvenient. Hopefully we won't walk into another one immediately, we'll see. And we're good. We've also been very lucky to find a large storage unit. So we can hold about twice as many items now. We've also found an exit, although we don't know to where it leads. So this terminal, it has branch access points, which will tell us if an exit leads anywhere besides the main next level. Sometimes exits can lead, instead of going down, they can go like left or right in like branching paths for a little while. So we can try that, and we finally got a success. So we know the only two side access points go to the mines, and they're down here now and down here, which means that this exit, although we don't know it directly, we can infer goes to the next main level. Undecided what we'll do yet, but let's keep exploring for a while. We've been very unlucky with the terminals, but that's okay. These first couple of levels don't have any major threats, unless you go into the mines, in which case there's a few things that can actually be very dangerous. So we were able to find some traps. We know that these will set off an alarm if we walk into them, which is very annoying, but it's better than walking into them like a dummy. So we were able to put a botnet on this system, so further attempts, I believe, will be about 3 or 5% more successful, which isn't, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but it adds up, and you can get a couple more percentage points on that. Something we can check out here is our alert level, which is a super important stat that you can't directly see. It's basically how aware the OB10 complex is of us. Right now, we're not even really a blip on its radar, so anything we run into are going to be like normal patrols. It's just the world as it is. As we make noise, so to say, like fighting a lot of things, blowing up walls, various other actions, we'll see what we get up to. The complex will become more aware of us and start sending like hit squads and patrols after us, and will like actively start to hunt us down. And there are a couple of different ways that we can manage our alert, but you don't ever really get to directly see what it is, which isn't even entirely true, but I don't know, there's too much to this game sometimes. So it looks like there's not too much else we can do on this level. We found a repair station, so we can attempt to repair some of our damaged parts. We're repairing our treads, give us a little bit more armor. Ooh, and we have hit an alarm trap. So a squad is coming to investigate us. So the last big decision on this floor, since there's really not much else we're going to want to do, I guess there's this section we could check out. But the last big decision is, do we go down to the main floor or do we go to the mines? Going to the main floor will heal us. You always heal going to the main floor. It'll also let us pick 2 more slots to put items. So we could have, more wheels, more utility, more weapons. You're not going to want more power until later on. Going to the mines, we're going to stay about half damaged. But there's a number of interesting things that we could run into. Dipping into the side branches is also one of the ways to lower your alert. The facility kind of assumes that you've left, so not a bad idea to do every now and then. And we immediately are faced with 2 enemies, which is not great. We also got this interesting message that something is scanning the area. I know what that means, but we'll run into it when we run into it. It's not something that you get every time you go into the mines, though. So we're just gonna... it's worth taking a little bit of time to change out parts so that I'm better armored for this fight. We'll throw on our hard light plating, and now we'll shoot. Our heat is building up quickly, but that's okay, we're doing a lot of damage. We're gonna switch out to the improved heat, or the heat sink. And they are dead. So we have a much less exciting message pop up. Something that I would say happens about 10% of the time in the mines is an infestation. So these are robots that are not part of the OB10 complex. They're rogue. There's several different factions outside of OB10, most of whom you can help in some way. These guys, though, the infestation, are called derelicts, and they are basically mindless. And this is a super dangerous event, especially early in the game. The good news is that they will also hunt down the OB10 robots, so hopefully they can kill each other for me. OB10 will also, we see it's sending out a Demolisher response squad, who are pretty tough, so mostly we want to not run into either of those. We also see here... Okay, so I was wrong. The infestation are not derelicts. Derelicts are actually another friendly group that you can team up with. This guy here is pretty badass for the level that we're at, and hopefully he can escort me through the infestation. A derelict emerges from the shadows. You need to get out of here. I've been tracking a group of assembled to figure out where they're coming from, and they're closing in on this area. Come on. So we're gonna follow this guy. Not too closely. Fuck. So we don't see what he's firing at, and they don't see us, but he is firing at something. So we're gonna try to run away, and we're not gonna succeed. So basically right now we are trapped in. I'm pretty sure the assembled saw us, so it's gonna come hunt us down. We also heard a little to the north here what sounds like the Demolisher response team coming in. So hopefully they'll kill each other before they come find me. We're gonna wait it out. Certainly sounds like they're fighting. And now it sounds quiet. So we have some parts on the ground. Looks like there's no survivors anywhere, which is basically ideal. Okay, and we found what that strange message about being something scanning the area was talking about. We found the entrance to one of the side factions. So, we're still not going down to the next main level yet. So that's another choice to make. Okay, the thinking is that I'm pretty hurt and my parts aren't amazing, although they're okay. So if I go down to the next main level, I'll be able to heal up. If I go to this side faction, I'm trying to remember which one it's going to be. I think they're going to be Farcom, which is a very good beginner faction. They give you some pretty big benefits. But if we do that, when we leave that area, we'll have to go through one more mine level to get back into the compound. So we'll be in kind of a risky spot. I think we're gonna do it though. Oh, you look interesting. The exiles will probably want to check you out. Keep your grabby things to yourselves, though. I've got my sensors on you. So this is the bouncer to the exiles, who are a group of rogue researchers, if I have my Cogmind lore correct. I assure you this isn't what it looks like. We're just trying to learn more about the Assembled. They're clearly not of OB10 construction, and their tech is weird, seemingly copying a wide array of components of other bots with little pattern or logic. It's almost like the early stages of some sort of evolution. I'd love to just ask the imprinter what all this is about. She must know something, but I doubt that would end well. The Zionites will tell you those marauders at the gates are defenses set up by Warlord. Nope, the imprinter put them there mostly to keep us out. Anyway, I've got to get back to poking and prodding these nasty little guys. Go see Ben. I can't imagine you'll want to stay in our boring little cave for long, and we could use some help getting with the project in the back. So this is a very ragtag team of little robots. And they might seem like a weird choice to ally ourselves with, but we'll see that they actually have quite a bit to offer. Ah, I see we have a visitor. One wrong move in here and I'll invert your atomic chain. Some kind of maladjusted robots. Each of these guys has little bits of flavor, lore. I'll pick one just to show you, but I'll spare you through most of them. Can you believe Imprinter kicked the most prolific tinkerers out of Zion? Too smart and will end up getting everyone in trouble one day with crazy experiments. Whatever. So we see here that there is some powerful being people are talking about called the Imprinter. We see there's another faction called Zion. They're a more mainstream, they're more like a city. They have some interesting options. We can continue to look for some items lying around, but we don't really see anything too good. Another exit. Ah. Hello, random bot who has stumbled into my lab. I just know you want to hear everything about this amazing project I'd rather not be working on. It's not my style, but Hex says we need it, and I trust his judgment on that better than my own. So we've got this neat system which basically allows us to track combat bots moving through complex OB10 in real time when combined with local relay data. More specifically, we extract data from their central systems and transmit it to you or anyone else we have a bead on, and you process that locally together with our algorithms to determine their precise locations. It's pretty reliable so far, and once we've tweaked it to perfection, it'll be much safer for us to move around anywhere in the complex. Want in on the action? Just step right into the Farcom aligner and I'll do the rest. Now, I'll admit there could be side effects, but if you're willing to participate in the trials, you can have one of our prototypes. How's that for a sweet deal? So, basically what he's offering is a scanner for when I'm in the OB10 complex that will show me OB10 robots. It lets me see robots through walls. It is a super powerful tool. It's the main reason for coming down here. And as soon as we get back to the complex, you'll basically see it in action. It is the equivalent of 2 decently powerful utility slots put together, and you get it for free. The downside is it doesn't work in places like the mines or non-OB10 complexes, and it doesn't work on non-OB10 units. It also makes it so that if we go into a certain branch map on a later level, we're basically guaranteed to be hunted by the biggest threats in the game, so it locks you out of certain in-game paths, but that doesn't really matter when you're not good at the game like me, so we're going to take it. All done. Way to be a champ. Here's the access code as promised, and he gives us the little code. Only take 1, mind you, and sorry we don't have much left to pick from. A bunch of our other prototypes were already given to derelicts out handling other tasks for us. I haven't taken inventory for a while, and I'm not sure what's in there now, but if there are more than one of the same prototype, you can choose to take all of those, and it just counts as 1. So we also get to open up this little prototype vault. And we get to pick one of these prototypes to take with us, which are potentially extremely valuable items. Special weapon device storage. We'll try to put this on. Field lobotomy kit. Instantly assimilate any robot. Okay, so that lets us make minions. Pretty good. Let's try the prototype device. Skeleton box. Hacks visible door terminals within a range of 10. Interesting. It doesn't seem super useful. Super battery. Stores surplus energy. Oh, so this is amazing. Um, so we're going to take this super battery, and with it, we're going to be looking for weapons that are incredibly powerful but have a high energy cost because we can basically maintain it for a really long time. So first up, we're going to charge it. It's going to take us a long time to charge a battery this large with their shitty engine, but hopefully we'll get a better one soon. Alright, this guy says, and if we have to leave here due to unforeseen circumstances, don't worry, the Farcom system will continue to maintain contact via our distributed network. So, oop. And don't even think about spreading that code around. We're going to change it right after you leave. Most certainly not to something like 1234, which I did last time as a little joke, and some thief managed to sneak in here and steal a few of Hex's prototypes. So, we got what we want from here. And now we're going to head back out into the mines. Charge up the last of this energy. Take off the super battery. And hopefully have a easy stroll. We see two hostiles off the bat. One of them is very dangerous, the rogue. We're going to throw on our treads. We're going to throw on, we're going to shoot. We're going to shoot. We're going to shoot. We got them both. Amazing. Okay. Throw on this wheel. And we're good to go. So these guys here, we can activate. We have some mercenary units. We see the way down. What does this guy say? Any of them following you? I'm here trying to lose some heat after a second raid on storage failed. Whatever you do, stay away from that place. They've tightened security following our previous successful raids. So this guy's letting us know that we can get to storage, which is actually normally, well, actually that's great knowledge. We can pick up the scrap engine. Okay. So we have an exit here. We could just get out. There's often pretty good things in the mines, though. And, so a fun thing is the mines are still technically OB10 territory, even though they're not the main complex. OB10 is sending mining drones out to excavate and build walls, and so the Farcom system still works here, and we can see these defenders from way far away. So we don't want anything to do with that. We'll continue to check out this area, and we see more guys that we don't want anything to do with, and we're just gonna get on out of here. Okay, and since we are going up 2 levels, we have 4 slots to add. So we want 1 more weapon. We definitely want 2 more utility. The question is, do we want 3 more utility or propulsion? I feel like propulsion is the safer play here. We have made it to location 8, so we miss storage. We don't get a chance to go there. So we also immediately know there is a huge clusterfuck of enemies to our right. I think the move is to try to get out of here before they show up. Oh, and that scout saw us and has informed his buddies. They're sending reinforcements. We're gonna go ahead and equip some of these items that are taking up space in our inventory. Can get some more parts to replace them. We can keep a permanent heat sink on. Okay, it's not going too poorly right now, actually. Took that guy out in one hit. It's a shame that we have that alarm trap there. My boys are fighting though. Let's get out there. They are losing. Our heat is not looking so good. Pull back a little bit and take them all out. That went pretty well. So it's about time to replace our engine. So a thing to consider is another way to lose alert is by having your parts blown off, because OB10 assumes that when it blows the parts off of you, that you have become weaker, and so you are less of a threat, because only Cogmind can change on the go like we can. So sometimes it's worth it to wait for your parts to get shot off. But sometimes you don't really have that luxury. Ooh, we have a very good item here. We have the improved signal interpreter. It doesn't really do much for us on its own, but if we can get an advanced sensor array, it would allow us to see through walls basically exactly as we can, but for all robots. It's not nearly as good as it would be normally, but that's okay. Trying to put a Trojan on. Let's try to put an assimilation, which would mean that if a technician came to this terminal, it would actually become our ally. We did that successfully. So we don't know if there's a technician around. It doesn't look like it, but it's good to have anyway. Found an exit. We don't know where it goes. Take a light nuclear core. Also trade that for an ion engine. Oh, there's a garrison up here. We're gonna run. We do not want to be anywhere near. So garrisons are very powerful. I mean, they're garrisons. They're exactly what they sound like. We're gonna go in the opposite direction. Deal with anything else. So no branch access points, so all the exits are the same. We're gonna try to find some traps. No traps. Got a botnet on there. Let's see what the haulers have. Nothing crazy. Okay. Prototype energy gun, we like that. Oh, forgot we took off the heat sink. We were dangerously hot. We've disabled our nuclear core. Luckily, that's all we've done. Can often be much worse. Okay, there's some big threats on this level. That's okay. An EM pulse cannon. I don't love or hate EM weapons. Oh, it got me. Yeah, huge difference with the heatsink. Huge difference. Throw the improved terrain scanner back on. So many of these nerds hanging around. It's okay, they're fine. So the Farcom's also great for beginners because it sort of shows them the patterns of the different types of robots, because there are less good but easier to get scanners that only show you that there's a robot but not what it is. But if you're a really attentive player, you can learn what, to expect from those patterns if you just watch them for a little bit. This is not looking great for us. So we also have been here for too long, and they are sending dudes to come check out the area. This is getting worse by the minute. Maybe they'll just leave. Fuck. What is the range on that? God damn. Still on the armored tread. So we're generating a lot of heat. Turn off a couple of... Don't want another heat sink. Oh, fuck this guy up. Come on. There it is. So that was kind of a tough fight. What is this? It's shitty. Don't take my shit. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's get the hell out of here. Okay, we go down again. We want another utility. We'll take 2 more utilities, be kind of greedy. Okay. And we can see here that we have made it out of materials, which is the first 3 sections. And we're now in a new section where the map is much bigger, and there are much more serious threats now. Let's see. Luckily, we're not in a horrible spot. We need more propulsion. We're good for now on power. We have the Farcom, so our utilities are okay. And we're probably going to want to ditch the spread laser soon. Because the thing about Cogmind is you have to keep up with the power curve. And the spread laser, 3 spread lasers has been monstrous up to this point. And very soon it's just gonna fall off. So we need to keep that in mind. But for now, I think this is a good place to stop. I hope you have a good night, baby. I love you. I'll maybe see you on the next one.